Hey guys, welcome to Digital Wasteland. Today we are going to continue talking about your security and your privacy by talking about your Wi-Fi and your use of Wi-Fi. It's one of those things that people just kind of take for granted, right? They look at their potentials for Wi-Fi, and that's all they think about is, oh great, I'm going to be able to get online. And you've got to be a lot more concerned about that. There are some huge mistakes that you make when it comes to your Wi-Fi. Now, today we're going to kind of concentrate on your home Wi-Fi router. There is two parts of your Wi-Fi router that you need to be concerned about. Three, actually, if we count the password to get into it. And that, first off, is your SSID address. Right? So I'm just going to pop that into DuckDuckGo here. And your SSID is the name that your Wi-Fi has. Service Set Identifier. Now, most routers will come pre-named with some SSID on it. It's quite often will be named after the manufacturer in that case. And oftentimes the ones that are bought in stores, as compared to the ones you get from an ISP, come unsecured, and you have to secure them. And you have to secure them. You cannot have a public access Wi-Fi system and expect to have anything other than being hacked happen. Right? It's just all kinds of a bad idea. Now, the SSID quite often will reflect the name of the company that puts out the router or provides the internet service. And that's okay, provided, of course, that you're in an area where there's a lot of routers. You are, as an example, going to have a lot of them that would say Cogeco. Well, that's kind of, it gives you the ability to hide in the middle of a crowd in plain sight. And that's definitely something you want. You do not want to identify anything about you with this address. And you can change it at will. You can go in to your configuration, you can change the SSID, and I have seen so many times, as an example, John and Mary's home Wi-Fi. Well, and I've even seen last names in there. Well, you're giving away too much of the farm here, right? This is a highly dangerous way of which to conduct business. Now, my suggestion for an SSID is to make it a number letter combination, just like you would a password, as an example. But don't make anything that is a password that you use. And make the first two letters recognizable to you above all other ones in the area, such as having two X's at the beginning or two X's at the beginning and two X's at the end, something like that, that will let you know that that's yours and you won't have any trouble trying to connect to it. If you're in an area with a lot of Wi-Fi traffic and the signals are all fairly strong. Now, I mean, your phone and your laptop or your PC will pick up the strongest signal first and try to log on to that, as long as, of course, it has credentials and permission to do so. The next address in there is called the BSID, which is better known in the real world as the MAC address. Now, that is a permanent address of your router, and there's only one router in the world that has that address. Okay, that is permanent, that is you. That's why if you get your cable internet from a company in London, Ontario, and you move to Toronto, even if it's the same company, you have to get a new router because the MAC address is identified with the address that you have. And most of the times they'll just replace the router. And a lot of the North American companies refurbish and reuse their routers. In Europe, I've noticed that they tend to throw them away. Doesn't matter. Right? They're pretty cheap when it comes to manufacturing of them to begin with. They just sell for a good price if you're going out to buy them. Now, making sure that nobody can log on to this is essential because there's probably something that you are not aware of. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go to this one here, and we're going to go here. I'm just going to pop this open here. Now, if you look up at the top, you will see the IP address of my router. Right? That means nothing because every router of this model will have that IP address. That's your home IP address. That's not your internet IP address. However, if you can log onto the router, you can log in to this. And if you log into this, you own the router. And that gets to be very, very important to understand. So this password needs to be extremely strong. No matter who provided your router, make sure that password is strong. And I really do, like every other password, suggest you change it every 6 months anyway. Now, if you live out in the middle of nowhere, where people aren't going to be driving by and trying to get on your Wi-Fi, then it's not quite so essential. Now, where I am, nobody's going to try to get on my Wi-Fi. It's out of range for anybody. You would have to come into the yard and stand there to get it. The signal is not strong. Now, for my devices here, I don't even use the Wi-Fi. I could actually shut it off. And just because I'm hardwired into the router, which is the best way to go whenever you can, is to connect directly. Now, the next thing I want to mention to you, you've probably seen a feature on your phone that's called tethering. It is when you need to use the internet on another device and you do not have a hookup. So you tether your bandwidth from your phone provider. Now that turns your phone into a Wi-Fi service and it broadcasts. That broadcast tells the towers and anybody around that area exactly where you are. And this is the big thing about routers, is these Wi-Fi routers tell the systems that they are involved with exactly what their location is. So as an example, if John and Mary name it John and Mary's family Wi-Fi, I can pick them off with very little information as to finding their home address. Is that what you want? Right? The same if I get on your phone because you're using an unsecured Wi-Fi and then your connection is unencrypted, I can go in and take a look at what your preferred networks are, and maybe I'll get lucky and John and Mary is you. And now I can find out exactly where you are. So the question comes up is, well, how do you find that out? How would you possibly find out where my router is? Well, here we go, boys and girls. This is wiggle.net. All networks found by everyone. This is a public database that is partially contributed to by Google and people just like you and me who don't know any better. There are currently 500 million Wi-Fis marked in this system. Right, now I'm not going to go through all the details of this system because I haven't bothered to do it. Almost 8,500 million observations of Wi-Fis over the years that they've been in operation, and it gives you exact coordinates. Now if we step this thing out here a little bit, right, you start to see the grid of Wi-Fis that there are, and you can search this database to find what you're looking for. Now we're in the United States here, right, because my Wi-Fi appears to be in the United States, and here you can see we have the density maps along the side here of the densest areas of Wi-Fi. As we work our way out and take a look, get out here far enough, and we'll take a look at the world here. But see, this type of thing should scare you. This is the data that is being collected on you without you knowing. And this is very prophetic here. Can't stop the signal now. No, you can't. You can't stop the signal. Right, so we just step out here at time, a little bit. And here you can see where the densest areas of Wi-Fi are compared to other areas. You notice a bit here, as we get to where we're looking towards here in North America, that the You can see where the highest density of Wi-Fi is, and every little dot here is some sort of Wi-Fi. Now, how come you're seeing them on the oceans and all of this? Well, here you're going to have a combination of airplane traffic, boat traffic, all because everything has Wi-Fi nowadays, right? Everything is hooked up. And this covers a lot of information. You can filter things down and all of that, but the very fact that something like this exists should concern you, and hopefully that it does. And then here we go from North America. We'll just go right across the ocean here, and we can see more map here of the areas that are, and I can zoom in. Where am I here? Okay, zoom in. And you'll start to get a little bit of a difference in density. See, we're looking at the Ukraine in all of the different places that are, possible, where you're going to find all sorts of Wi-Fi, heaviest in the cities, obviously, and things like that. This is a big deal. You don't want to be on this map if you can possibly avoid it. And if you are already on this map, and you probably are, you want to make sure that you are indistinguishable from the others around you. Okay? And never, ever, ever tether your phone so somebody can have internet or some other device can, because it's a beacon saying, here I am, listen to me. Because that's what your phone is saying when it does that. Right? Just as your Wi-Fi router is doing that. Except with a phone, you're connected to a cell tower when you're doing it. Right? Everything about it is just not a good idea. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Think about this stuff. Take some proactive measures. Secure your Wi-Fi. And be careful when you're using Wi-Fi out in the world. Make sure you're on a VPN. There's lots of people who want to badmouth VPNs, but that's ridiculous. It defies logic. If there's a 1 in 10 chance of being hacked without one, and a 1 in 100,000 chance of being hacked with one, why would you take the 1 in 10? Right? The logic that people have today is there is no logic. Right? Always protect yourself. Don't worry what other people think of you protecting yourself either. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Shoot this video off a like. Share it with your friends. And check out our Patreon. There's lots of benefits for being a Patriot, and there are more things going to be coming all the time. It's a very exciting time when we're getting into all of the ways that you can make sure that your internet experience is safe and fun. Have a great day. Bye.